Nate Pooterball. In baseball last night, the Reds won Game 2 of their series with the Rays 6-2. Ellie De La Cruz broke home in a tied game with a 2-run single in the 7th inning. They'll wrap up their series at 1:40 today. Shane Bass squaring off against Brady Singer of the Reds. Catch the action immediately following Fan Sports Sunday. The Cleveland Guardians split their doubleheader with Kansas City, losing Game 1 in extra innings 5-3, but winning the nightcap 6-4. They'll play the rubber match today at 2:10. Noah Cameron takes them out for the Royals against Joey Cantillo. In the NFL, former Buckeye Terry McLaurin reported to camp with the Commanders with an injured ankle. He is expected to be placed on the physically unable to perform list. And Texans running back Joe Mixon is expected to miss most of training camp with an injured ankle. And Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is expected to miss training camp this week with an injured back. Breaking sports news, what happens in the Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Here are your hosts, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Welcome to On the Money. I am Dave Biddle. I am joined by Ryan Baker. Scotty Vegas is off today. Producer Nate Pooterball at the controls. Ryan Baker, how you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm doing great, Dave. Glad to be here with you and hanging out and doing a little On the Money. Always nice to get back to my roots here where... You know, On the Money was kind of my first show here, so.
That's right, and we're going to be together for the call-in show as well because Scotty is off today. His sister-in-law is marrying now his future brother-in-law. Or they already get married yesterday. Yeah, they got married yesterday, so I'll be with you till noon. And then you're also doing Fan Sports Sunday with Dylan from noon to 1.
From noon to about 1:10.
Look at you doing 3 different shows today, right into the Reds pregame.
Listen, when people get desperate, I'm their guy, I guess.
I don't think that's true at all. But, all right, Ohio State coming off media days last week. Let's get into some of our major takeaways and just talk about some of the interesting stuff. Petitti's taking some shots from a lot of people in the SEC and people in the media. It was interesting, Ryan. I found it fascinating that all of the Big Ten coaches, I'm talking 18 out of 18, we're all on the same page, all giving shout-outs to Tony Petitti, all saying we're the best conference, all saying we want the 4 automatic qualifiers. When they do expand, what do you think will happen with the CFP, and what do you think should happen?
So... I feel like the Big Ten is the only conference that's holding out for automatic qualifiers, and they're doing that because they play 9 conference games, and they want all of this to be fair, and it sounds like the Big Ten wants to play the Ohio State-type Texas matchup every year. It sounds like they want that big game on the schedule where a lot of teams, and I think that's one thing we thought bids back when we were going, hey, we're going to go to 12, we're going to get bigger matchups now during the year. Well, that does not seem to be the case at all so far, as teams have been canceling games left and right, it seems like, against bigger opponents. The one thing that I liked, at least from Big Ten media days, is that we know where Tony Petitti stands.
Yes.
And where Tony Petitti stands is on making the most money possible for the Big Ten Conference. And I don't think that's a terrible thing. Now, if you're an Ohio State fan, like we are here, that's not great for Ohio State because he may not be advocating for Ohio State because guess what? Ohio State's brand is bigger than the Big Ten. And Ohio State's going to be fine whatever they do. If you go back and look over the past 50-year history of Ohio State football, there's once, maybe twice, where they would finish outside of the top 16. It's not a lot of times.
They've had 2 losing seasons, and it was like Cooper's first year in 88 and then the Luke Fickell year in 2011. They've been the most consistent team in college football. It'd be one thing to say, most consistent team, but they only have like 1 national title during that time. Or even most consistent, but they've never got over the top. How about most consistent and they've won 3 national titles during that time and have had some other near misses? Think about the times they've had some near misses. I mean, Tressel lost in a couple of national championship games, including once to this Urban Meyer guy. Ryan Day lost in a national title game, got very close in 2019, got very close in 2022 as well, getting to the semifinals. So they've won 3. They've come close a lot. They are just always in the mix, except for like just strange years where, John Cooper's first year and then the Luke Fickell bridge year from Jim Tressel to Urban Meyer. I'm going to get into this too, man. Like, what do you think about the idea? Because at first I thought play-in games, like this is not the NBA. But the more I think about it, if you take out the Big Ten championship game, which has almost been rendered useless, especially if you then expand the playoffs from 12 to 16, which I think they're definitely going to do. Get rid of the Big Ten championship game, and then in place of that, you have 2 games. 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5 in the Big Ten standings, do or die to get in the CFP. I don't think we're ever going to get there because I don't think the other conferences, meaning just basically the SEC, I don't think they're going to sign off on this. But at first I thought that sounded ridiculous. The more I thought about it, get rid of the Big Ten championship game, have these 2 playoff games instead. And to your point, those 2 games, those do or die games, especially when you combine them, would definitely make more money than just one standalone Big Ten championship game.
And see, maybe I heard this wrong. I didn't hear get rid of the Big Ten championship game. I heard they were still going to play that and still have these 2 other games. That's what I thought that they wanted to do. You already know I hate this because last year the 6th place team in the Big Ten would have been Iowa. And I think Iowa had 5 losses. They at least had 4 when they would have got to that game. So let's say, and I don't think it would be far-fetched last year to say, hey, maybe Indiana would lose to Iowa in that 3 versus 6 matchup. So now in the playoff, I have a 5-loss team. Get the hell out of here. Like, I don't like that. I don't want that. And then we heard Petiti say, well, who's to say the loser in that game still can't get in as an at-large? No, you said it's a play-in game. If you lose, you don't deserve to be in the playoff. Like, listen.
Yeah, he means play-in as an automatic qualifier, but still have your cake and eat it too, where you can still be an at-large.
I understand. And like I said, I know where Petiti's loyalties lie now, and it's for making as much money as possible.
That's what he knows the best.
For the Big Ten. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I still want a deserving national champion, and I don't think a 4 or 5 loss team is deserving. Listen, we can argue about Ohio State last year. I don't think there's no doubt Ohio State and Oregon were the 2 most talented teams last year.
I agree.
Was Ohio State deserving, though, from their performance in the regular season? More importantly, that last game of the year? Maybe not, but we had an expanded playoff. They get in, and they play like we expected them to play all year finally in that 4-game run, and they win it all. I can't. If you lose 4 games in the regular season, you're out. You don't deserve to play for it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I see a stance that I don't see the SEC budging and I don't see the Big Ten budging. So, and that is how many conference games you're going to play. I don't see the SEC all of a sudden acquiescing Ryan Baker and saying, okay, all right, Big Ten, we'll play 9 conference games like you want us to. I wish they would. I don't see the problem with playing 9 conference games if you're an SEC team and playing 3 non-conference games instead of 8 and 4. They would say, well, Big Ten can just go back to 8. Okay, I like 9 and 3. The Big Ten's not going to budge off 9 conference games, and the SEC's not going to budge off 8. I mean, maybe there's a chance I'm wrong here, Ryan, but I don't see them budging off their stances there.
I don't believe so either, because the SEC is always going to say our conference is tougher. We can't have all of these games, yada, yada. And the Big Ten is like, hey, we play conference game. This is what we want to do. We want to make as much money for our conference.
And the idea that it's, and listen, the SEC has the complete right to say over the last X amount of years, they've been the best conference. They have been overall. But have things started to change a little bit when the Big Ten adds an Oregon, to beef things up? And who knows if USC can get back to being USC, but Washington's a solid program. Michigan's leveled up. Penn State's leveled up a little bit. Ohio State is Ohio State. And then I think we talk about the depth in the SEC. SEC teams or SEC people say that. Really, the SEC the last however many years has been Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Florida. Am I leaving somebody else that's won a title from that conference? Those 4 teams.
You got to go back to what, Auburn? Cam
Auburn
Newton
did have one. Auburn did have one with Cam Newton. That's true. And LSU is such an interesting program. They won national titles with Les Miles and Coach O. Now, obviously with Nick Saban, too. That just shows you that's a good job. If you can win a national title with both Les Miles and Coach O, now Coach O's team, it helps when you have just an all-time great roster.
Did they do it this year with Brian Kelly?
They're one of the teams that's like there has like a an outside chance. I think like a real, not an outside chance like a Indiana, but an outside chance like a top 10 team. All right, up next, let's talk more Ohio State football and college football. This is On the Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Open a money market account at Kemba Financial Credit Union and enjoy a 4.00% APY intro rate until April 2026, 6 times the national average. Maintain easy access to your funds and secure financial stability. Don't miss out. Offer expires July 31st, 2025. Visit Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Advantage status and $5,000 minimum and $1 million maximum deposit required. APY equals annual percentage yield. Comparison based on FDIC average. Federally insured by NCUA.
The sun is out and the savings are on at Coughlin Kia, Central Ohio's largest volume Kia dealer. Take up to $7,000 off MSRP on any new Kia EV in stock, or get up to $3,000 off MSRP plus 0% financing for 60 months. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Largest Kia dealer based on current ground stock at all 4 Coughlin Kia locations. 0% for 60 months equals $1,667 per 1,000 finance. All manufacturer incentives to dealer. Prior sales excluded. Dealer financing required. Residency restrictions may apply. See dealer for details. In 7/31/25.
When it's time to ask life's biggest question, make sure your ring says it all. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar, and we've been helping couples say yes for over 78 years. From brilliant cuts to better prices, the quality and selection of our diamonds is unmatched. Because diamonds aren't just our business, they're our legacy. Visit us at Diamond Cellar on Salmo Road or Easton Town Center and learn more at diamondcellar.com. Bigger diamonds, better prices, guaranteed.
Colin, Man, and Timmy here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Timmy?
Yeah, we got a lot of fun things going on this month, like karaoke.
And crab legs.
No, not yet. Live bands. We've got food trucks in the outdoor valet area.
Crab legs.
Oh, not yet. On select weekend days throughout the summer. Okay, now crab legs.
And all you can eat crab legs at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Join Penn Play Rewards and play up to $500 on us. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, crab legs.
Oh, yeah, we love crab legs.
Time for crab legs?
Okay, crab legs.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Dangers rarely lie out in the open, so no matter where you live, it's important to know harmful pests can hide in and around your home.
Here I come!
Rodents and cockroaches are drawn to food waste and garbage.
I know you're out here.
Ticks lurk in tall grasses, and mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water.
I can hear you.
Rodents, ticks, and mosquitoes can all spread dangerous diseases.
I gotcha.
Seek the facts you need at pestworld.org, a public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
All right, Buckeyes coming off the national championship. They have never repeated as national champs in the program's history. You know, and if you're giving me the Buckeyes or the field this year, I would take the field. But I do like that Ohio State is the co-betting favorites to win the national title. They're very talented. As Coach Day said himself at Big Ten Media Days, very young. They don't quite have the depth they had last year, but very, very, very talented. I do think one thing that helps them this year, Ryan, I'm curious to get your take on this. Huge believer in the mental side of sports. The pressure being off. Now, the pressure won't be off the final regular season game in Ann Arbor. I'm not talking about that. And, of course, you're not going to have a lot of pressure playing in Texas. But last year, they came in. It wasn't just the outside noise, like, oh, they better win it all this year. It was from inside the building. The call was coming from inside the house, Ryan. It was like, Denzel Burke saying, natty or bust. Mm-hmm. Other guys saying very similar things. I have never heard that, at least nowhere near to that degree during my time covering Ohio State. They put so much pressure on themselves. And you feel at Big Ten Media Days, I wasn't out there in person. It just felt like they were it was a combination, Ryan, of being businesslike and relaxed.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And I think it's interesting to hear like Jeremiah Smith this week say, well, that was Emeka Egbuka's national championship. I want to go win one for myself now. And it's very interesting because we know how talented this roster here is at Ohio State, but that doesn't change the fact that, you're replacing 8 starters on defense, and you have a whole brand new backfield on offense, running backs and quarterback, and you have 2 new coordinators, right? Now, Brian Hartline's been groomed for this for a while now, and he's learned under Ryan Day, and he got a front row seat to Chip Kelly last year and got to work with him and learn from him. And listen, Matt Patricia's resume speaks for itself, right? And he's a guy that's coached at the highest level in the NFL, but really hasn't done it in college. And it's been a long time since he's been at college. So there are a ton of question marks for this Ohio State team heading into this season. But yeah, they seem relaxed because there's still stuff there, right? But a huge monkey got lifted off of this team, and maybe more importantly, this head coach with winning that national championship last year.
Yeah, and they're still hungry. You're right. Guys like Caleb Downs don't want to hear anything about the pressure's off. Like those guys and Sonny Styles, those guys
take that stuff down.
I'm not surprised. Exactly. I'm not surprised about this at all, getting to quote unquote know those guys and interview them. But like the way they handled themselves at Big Ten Media Days, if you're a Buckeye fan, you couldn't be more proud of how what a great leader Sonny Styles is and the type of young man he is. Same thing with Caleb Downs. And JJ is a man of few words, but what a class act. He's almost too good to be true, Ryan. On the field, of course. Such a great work ethic. He blows up as a superstar. He's stayed humble. He's not a guy that's going to say a lot, but when he does talk, people listen. He leads by example. And I found it fascinating that he was asked for his Mount Rushmore of Ohio State wide receivers. And this is going to be the main topic of conversation on the Fan Collins show, which begins at 11 a.m. But Ryan and I are going to give our thoughts on this. I thought it was so cool, man. So they asked him his Mount Rushmore of Ohio State receivers. And, we're talking about a young man that's 19 years old, just turned 19. First name out of his mouth, Chris Carter, who played for the Buckeyes from 84 to 86. So I thought that was cool. Then he went Marvin Harrison Jr. He went Jackson Smith and Jigba. And I'm thinking, they asked him for, obviously Mount Rushmore, give me 4. He stops at 3. And I'm thinking, okay, he's going to stop at 3 because he's too humble to say the obvious. We know who's also on that mountain. We know JJ's on that mount already. But is he too humble to say it? Yes. You can see the wheels moving almost in his brain, Ryan, as then the reporter says, okay, well, who's the 4th then? And he said, Ted Ginn Jr. And I love that. And I don't know which one you would take off, but JJ's on that mount. But I love that he didn't put himself on there. He's too humble. Even though he knows it, you know it, he knows that you know it, but he wasn't going to do it. He's too cool to do it. And then I love that Ted Ginn Jr. on Twitter quote tweeted somebody else who reported it, said, thanks, GOAT, called JJ GOAT. So we're going to debate who is going to be on our Mount Rushmore. I will say this, Ryan, and I'm stealing somebody's joke on this. We're going to need a bigger mountain because I think I can make an argument for about 15 different guys. I mean, Terry Glenn won the Biletnikoff Award in '95. Yep. And no one's going to put Terry Glenn on the top 4, but I'd be tempted to.
I mean, there's some people out there that will, for sure. And who would have thought back when Woody Hayes was here and you got 3 yards in a cloud of dust and Archie and Pete Johnson, that one day you'd be talking about the Mount Rushmore of Ohio State wide receivers, and the list could be so long. It's pretty impressive.
Ryan and I are going to give our list. I don't even know what my list quite is because, like I said, I could make an argument for about 15 different guys, but Ryan and I are going to give our list of our Mount Rushmore of Ohio State receivers next on The Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Summer is in full swing. If you think you're hot, well, so are your trees. You can help your trees by watering them, especially if they're newly planted. During the hot, dry summer months, your trees could use a water boost. Watering new trees a few times a week will help them survive while they're developing their root system, so don't forget about them. To find out more about watering trees or to find a certified arborist near you, go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Have you experienced foot or ankle pain during or after sports, running, or exercising at the gym? Nagging aches in your foot or ankle that won't go away? Podiatric physicians can provide you with important foot care solutions, shoe inserts, or show you how to support your feet and ankles so you're able to compete or exercise comfortably. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and have been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money. Dave Biddle, Ryan Baker, Nate Pooterball. Scotty in Vegas has the day off. All right, so we're talking about Ohio State's Mount Rushmore of wide receivers. Yeah, we're going to need a bigger mountain. All right, so according to Mr. J.J. Smith, Jeremiah Smith is not on Jeremiah Smith's mountain because he's too humble to put himself on there. All right, he has Chris Carter, he has Marvin Harrison Jr., he has Jackson Smith and Jigba, and he has Ted Ginn Jr. All right, again, I think I can make an argument for many different guys. Okay, here's mine, and I struggled with this. As mentioned, I'm putting Jeremiah Smith on the list. I know, he's only played 1 year. I don't care. I can't sit here and say I fully believe he's going to be the best wide receiver to ever come through here and not have put him on that mountain. He's on that mountain. Chris Carter's on that mountain, despite playing in the 80s. Now, they did obviously start throwing the ball more then. This wasn't 3 yards in a cloud of dust with Earl Brucey. Chris Carter had Mike Tomczak for one of his years and had Jim Carsados for a sec. So they threw the ball relatively a lot for what Ohio State was known for in the 80s. But Chris Carter, my gosh, unbelievably good. And then what he did in the NFL just puts it over the top. Marvin Harrison Jr., 2-time All-American, Biletnikoff Award winner. One could argue he should have been the 2-time Biletnikoff Award winner. I think he's got to be on there. And then, again, I can make an argument for a bunch of guys. Then it came down to Joey Galloway or Terry Glenn. And I thought, well, Terry had the Biletnikoff and Joey never got that. Here's the difference. Joey Galloway, both of them were phenomenal. Joey Galloway's big year was 93. And he had Bobby Hoying as his quarterback, just like Terry Glenn did 2 years later. But Joey Galloway had young Bobby Hoying, first-year starter Bobby Hoying, third-year sophomore Bobby Hoying. Had to bring Brett Powers off the bench sometimes, Bobby Hoying, and still put up a huge year in 93. Also didn't have a good offensive coordinator yet. Still had Jim Coletto there. And Terry Glenn in 95, had fifth-year senior Bobby Hoying. He had Walt Harris who came in. Now, I do not want to downplay what Terry Glenn did in 95. I'm just saying. I'm going to give the edge to Joey Galloway over Terry Glenn, and I can't believe I'm leaving Terry Glenn off. Maybe we can, we can carve him in as the fifth. And Joey Galloway was just a freak. I mean, we know about Terry Glenn's speed. Joey Galloway also, we'll have to look this up to make sure I'm not making this up, ran somewhere it was 4.2 something in the 40 at the combine. 4.2 40 at the combine. And by the way, he outlifted pretty much every offensive lineman there in the bench. He could squat more than anybody. This guy was a physical freak. So I'm going to give Joey Galloway the edge over Terry Glenn. What What do you got, my man?
I want to say that was a 4.28. He ran, if I remember that right, at the combine.
And benching like 500. I mean, max at the. But I heard something like he could like max out like over 500 pounds on the bench. Joey Galloway was a freak of nature.
So I think two of these spots you can't argue, and I guess you can argue all of them, but I think two of these spots you can't argue. One is Chris Carter. I think he has to be on there. And I think most people that were around, whether it's Chris Carter at Ohio State or Chris Carter in the NFL, they'll tell you he was one of the best to ever do it. Just incredibly ridiculous hands. Yes. And Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't think you can argue. The only two-time All-American for Ohio State at wide receiver. Now, that's probably going to change here real soon.
Yes, it will.
But he's the only. And I'll say this. I think maybe after this year, but definitely after next year, I don't think you can argue three of these spots because Jeremiah Smith is going to be on it. Yep. I do not have Jeremiah on mine yet because we've only seen 1 year of Jeremiah Smith, and I don't think anything crazy is going to happen. But we only saw 1 year of Maurice Clarett. You don't know if injuries will happen, so I cannot put. Please. Knock on wood. No injuries.
Only saw 1 year of Terry Glenn, really, because he was Prop 48, then he barely played his first year of eligibility, and then he broke out as a third-year sophomore. JSN basically one and done. Had that one really good interception, touchdown the back of the end zone. Unbelievable catch when he was a true freshman. The COVID year, but because of the guys ahead of him, they were all first-round picks, and then they only played 8 games. He didn't play he was basically one and done. Yeah, it's tough to go with the one and done guys. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And so that's why I won't have those guys on my list either. The next two that I'm going with are, and this is no joke, they're two of my favorite Buckeyes of all time. One of them you have on yours is Joey Galloway. I think Joey Galloway kind of started the run of receivers you've seen here at Ohio State because Joey Galloway came in, and then you had Terry Glenn, and then you went to David Boston, and then you've had the run of Santonio Holmes, Chris Gamble, Ted Ginn Jr., Anthony Gonzalez, and it just goes down the line all to what we've seen the past few years. So I have Joey Galloway. And then the other, to me, I think if you're talking complete football player at the wide receiver position, I have Chris Olave on mine. I mean, he came in as a freshman, did everything he was asked to at an excellent level on special teams, maybe single-handedly won a Michigan game with his play on special teams that 1 year with a big block.
That was us coming up. Probably also those 2 touchdowns early. I still think that they were going to. Ryan Day had Don Brown just schemed. They just blew out Michigan. And another great point you made. By the way, there's so many great wins. We haven't even brought up the name Garrett Wilson yet.
Nope.
Who was the number 8 overall pick of the draft and is doing well. Unbelievable.
Michael Jenkins.
Emeka Egbuka, Michael Jenkins, Mr. Clutch. Paul Warfield. I know we got some old school Buckeyes. Are these young? I'm not young. I wish I was. Are these whippersnappers going to mention Paul Warfield, what we just did? And how about this? You mentioned this. You made a great point real quick about Joey Galloway. He did get it started because it had been a while since an Ohio State wide receiver, unless I'm forgetting somebody, was taken in the first round. And Joey Galloway wasn't just taken in the first round in 95 by the Seahawks. Number 7 overall pick of the draft, and started off his career like gangbusters with the Seahawks, and then ended up getting traded to the Cowboys. And if not for a couple of knee injuries, I think Joey Galloway might have had a Hall of Fame career in the NFL. It was starting that way. David Boston's another one. We could go on and on and on. But up next, we're going to switch gears. We're going to talk some NFL, Browns, Bengals, and just around the NFL in general. That's up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Well, Cincinnati's great national nightmare is over as far as the Bengals. Shamar Stewart signed, sealed, and delivered. They were fighting over like scraps. Just absolutely ridiculous. So it boiled down to like the Bengals got some language in there to protect them if he becomes a complete knucklehead as far as guaranteed money. And then he, in exchange, got $500,000 of his signing bonus up front extra. So he's not getting a larger signing bonus he's not getting more guaranteed money is what I'm trying to say. He's just getting more of his signing bonus up front. This is what they're fighting on. At least they got it done. But Trey Hendrickson still remains unsigned, Ryan Baker. And if as a Bengal fan, I would prefer the opposite, order there. I would prefer getting Trey Hendrickson in and then Shamar, but at least they got Shamar finally in.
Do they have a little leverage now with Trey that Shamar is signed? Like, hey, at least we got one guy that we think can rush the passer. Like
it can't hurt.
Yeah.
But Trey has basically said, no, who knows? We've seen this time and time again in sports. I'm dug in. There's no way I'm playing under this contract. I will sit out the year, and then you can either franchise me or I'll be a free agent. He's not going to do that, man. I mean, he knows he only has. He's already over the age of 30. How much longer does he have to play? Are you good? Now, he's already a rich man, so he could do it. Are you really going to give up $15 million and sit out the entire year?
I mean, listen.
You could.
If he doesn't, I think he looks bad in all of this because it's been his thing from the beginning. He said he's going to be dug in. I do not understand why when we talk about TJ Watt and we talk about Myles Garrett, we never talk about their age. But for some reason with Trey Hendrickson, who has been in the league the same amount of time as them, they all came into the league in 2017. For some reason, we always talk about Trey Hendrickson's age.
I have 2 theories on that, okay? Because, A, those 2 guys were both first-round picks, whereas Trey was like a third-round pick, and some people were like, third round, but no one had ever really heard of him. And then he's not very good against the run. Whereas at least I know Watt is. Well, is Garrett? Would you consider Garrett? Hendrickson is just now. I say he's a one-trick pony, but my gosh, that's a great. That's a great trick.
And
that's a great trick.
That's kind of how I feel about Miles, honestly, as a Browns fan. And people get on me listen. I think T.J. Watt's the best defensive player in football. Now, I know I don't watch the Steelers every game like other teams do, and like I watch Miles every game, so I probably don't see some of the warts that are there on his game. I just think he's so versatile. You can put him at linebacker. He'll hold his own. He'll drop back in pass coverage and be fine. I feel like he's a very versatile player, whereas Miles, I don't know if Miles is a one-trick pony, and listen, Miles has been pretty darn good the past 2 years. I don't have a lot of complaints in Miles, but I've seen times where Miles was gassed and off the field in big pressure situations for the Browns, didn't give it all. And listen, this is no fault of his own, and he doesn't have to be. I don't think Miles is a great locker room leader guy. Like, he's not first in, last out type guy. And there's nothing wrong with that because the dude's obviously in great shape and not everybody has to be that guy. But I think when you're talking about the upper echelon top of the list guys, I do think those guys sometimes you need them to be. And I think that's a dollars and cents thing that should go into if you're the highest paid or not. Do I think Trey Hendrickson is as good as those two? Maybe not, but he's real close. He's just a rung down, and his production the last 4 years says he's every bit as good as those guys. So I do not understand why people try to downplay Trey Hendrickson a little bit. This guy has been really darn good, and he's a guy that's worked his way there, right? Like, he wasn't that the first 3 years. You mentioned he's a third-round pick. He worked his way up the Saints depth chart, got the contract with the Bengals. And listen, some guys get the contract, they quit producing. He's continued to produce.
Every year, you're right. I mean, his final year with the Saints, which then I thought the Bengals are overpaying for that 1 year. I love when I'm wrong about the Bengals front office because I was thinking, oh, here they go. They're overpaying a guy off of 1 good year with the Saints. And he's been with the Bengals 4 years now, and he's been productive every year. Not 3 out of the 4 years. All 4 years. Mm-hmm. They got to get it done. And even if he is a one-trick pony, he's fantastic at that. And what's the biggest concern if you're a Bengals fan this year? Defense. Really, you're going to have your best defensive player, not on the team. They need to get that done. And just, man, as a Bengal fan, I know this can't be the most important thing, but, just the PR. It's just embarrassed one thing after another with them, right? It was okay, we're not going to get Jamar Chase signed, and then he goes and has a historic year. Okay, well, now we're going to pay him more than we ever would have needed to pay him. T. Higgins, they let that go too long. Whatever happened. Now, a lot of Bengals fans think that Shamar Stewart was in the wrong here. Whatever you think about that, it's just, what's the common denominator, though, Ryan? It's the Bengals front office. All right, I'm curious, Ryan Baker being a Browns fan, is it going to be Flacco? Is it going to be Pickett? Is it going to be one of the rookies? Who's going to be the Browns quarterback this year? That's coming up next on The Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO. How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Who? Go to geteco.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Hi,
I'm Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers.
And I'm his very overpaid celebrity endorser, Common Man. Bob, I heard somewhere, actually from you many, many times, that Worthington Jewelers is where Columbus gets engaged.
It's too bad you and Timmy can't engage the audience.
Good zing, Bob.
If you're thinking of popping the question, there's only one place to go.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com. Tell them Common Man sent you.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-777-1225. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-777-1225. That's 800-777-1225. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
All right, Cleveland Browns quarterback room. I've never seen anything like it. Now, I know Deshaun Watson is on the shelf. He's not going to play this year. I know you guys are probably thrilled about that. But then you got Joe Flacco. You've got Kenny Pickett. You've got Dylan Gabriel. And you've got Shedeur Sanders, who I was reading some reports today had a pretty good practice here recently. I just have assumed it's going to be Flacco as the starting quarterback at the age of 40 if he's healthy. Am I right there? And just what's your feel for the Browns quarterback situation this year, Ryan?
So to me personally, I would think this regime is going to start Flacco because I don't know how much longer this regime has. Like, I don't know if the Browns are picking with their pick in the top 5 in this next draft, I don't know if the Stefanski-Barry era lasts another year. So to me, I would think you want to win as many games as you possibly can this year. And at least early on, I would think Joe Flacco is the guy that gives you that best chance. Now, if you listen to the Life and Leisure show that's 9 to noon every week a day on the Fan, Bishop and Friends, you would hear Bo Bishop say
nice shout out.
That Kenny Pickett is going to get every chance to win this starting job and be the starting quarterback because he thinks the Browns front office feels about Kenny Pickett the same way they do as Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Like, this is a young guy. A lot of potential, and maybe he could be the next Sam Darnold. They feel like he is a lottery ticket. Now, me personally, I feel I've seen enough of Kenny Pickett in the NFL to realize he is not the guy. As a Browns fan, if it were up to me, I do not think, even with Joe Flacco, you're a playoff team this year. You're maybe winning 6 games.
Especially in that division, man.
So to me, if Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders shows you, hey, there's something here, I am going to play one of those 2 guys, and let's bank on hitting something here in the potential that you could possibly have something. And I guess, like I said, that's the way the Browns feel about Kenny Pickett. I just feel I've seen enough that I know that's not the case with him, that get one of these young guys in, see if you have something, because guess what? You've got 2 picks next year in a quarterback draft that seems to be much better than this last one. So let's see if you have something here. That way you know with those 2 picks, hey, we can build around these guys, or we've got to go get the guy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was going to bring up next year's draft class. It's definitely going to be better than this year's, but it's certainly not going to be on the level of 2024 or 2020, in my opinion. I mean, Arch Manning is supposed to be the first quarterback off the board. You also have Nussmeier from LSU.
Drew Aller, if you believe in him. Cade
Klubnik, and I know Sellers is a sophomore eligibility-wise at South Carolina. I believe he's a third-year sophomore. So Sellers.
He can come out. Lenore Sellers.
He's another one. He could blow up. I mean, he had a really good redshirt freshman year.
John Mateer, if he goes to Oklahoma and has a really good year, another guy.
That's a sneaky team to make the playoffs. That might be, I'm going to maybe give a little shout-out to, or a little foreshadowing for our best bets. Oklahoma, I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs. I just like the value of Oklahoma plus 550 because they were not good last year. I get that. But bringing in Mateer. So, yeah, definitely a better quarterback class, but you don't say, at least I don't, oh, Arch is a sure thing. Nussmeier. I mean, so you could say.
There's no guarantee Arch is coming out next year either. He doesn't have to, and there's no guarantee.
That's true. That's true, but everybody has him projected as like the number one pick, so we'll see what happens. But one more thing. So the only player now that Shamar Stewart has signed, the only rookie draft pick that has not signed is Quinshon Judkins. And I'm curious what's going to happen here. Like I haven't read it. I've had some stuff going on this week, so I haven't read much about this. Is it status quo where like he hasn't said anything? And she's saying, he said, she said, or he's not even saying anything. It's just a she said, right?
Yeah, I do know that his attorney said all the facts will come out eventually. And it sounds like, at least with the Browns, and listen, football is totally the secondary thing in all of this issue. Like,
yes,
if these allegations are true, they're really terrible and it's awful. And I would think that Quinshon Judkins may not be worrying about playing football for a while if these things are true. But it sounds like with the Browns, hey, let's get all this legal stuff out of the way, and then we'll worry about signing a contract. I'm pretty sure Quinshon, if none of this had come up, would be signed and would be in Browns training camp and would probably be the favorite to be the starting running back week 1 when the Browns take on your Bengals. But right now, it's kind of just, hey, we've got to wait and see and let this legal process play out.
Yeah, and that's what they have to do, and especially with recent history of things. They're definitely playing this right. Just and we'll see. We'll see when the facts come out what the real deal is.
And again, listen, football and Quinshon's professional career here are secondary right now with this. If these allegations are true, if these allegations are made up and they're false, it's a terrible thing for him right now. But this is awful for him professionally. Because, like I said, he was probably going to be the starting running back for the Cleveland Browns. Now that is in jeopardy because of this, because he's not in training camp. He's not getting those reps that he would need. And again, all of this is secondary, but professionally, this is awful for him.
Let's talk some NFL futures betting next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN. The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use law enforcement siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention, like telling you if you get a speeding ticket, it doesn't end there. You have to pay expensive fines. You can't go to your friend's wedding because that also costs money. And your insurance rates could increase. See? We didn't have to use law enforcement sirens after all. Getting a speeding ticket has consequences. Sooner or later, speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Now is a great time to schedule a back-to-school dental appointment. Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, is here to tell us more.
Your child's teeth and gums need the right food, nutrition, and vitamins to grow strong and stay healthy. Help them maintain good oral health by brushing every morning and night, flossing, visiting the dentist twice a year, and developing good eating habits. As kids head back to school, it's important to know that foods and drinks high in sugar, acidity, and other cavity-promoting substances are often low in nutritional value, and they have the potential to create plaque capable of damaging tooth enamel. A back-to-school dental appointment can diagnose any potential problems and improve your child's oral health. health. Ohio Dental Association member dentists are located throughout the state, are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care, are bound by the highest ethical standards, and obtain superior ongoing education and training. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit ODA.org.
Have you experienced foot or ankle pain during or after sports, running, or exercising at the gym? Nagging aches in your foot or ankle that won't go away? Podiatric physicians can provide you with important foot care solutions, shoe inserts, or show you how to support your feet and ankles so you're able to compete or exercise comfortably. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and have been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
All right, Ryan Baker, I like looking at season win totals, futures bets for win totals in all sports, college football. There's one in Major League Baseball I'm trying to think of that I really like. Oh, it was Reds over 78.5 wins.
Nice win last night.
That's
for the
not
Red
looking
Legs.
too shabby. So if the Reds go 79-83, I win that bet. Right now they're 55-50. All right, bet against Tito Francona at your own peril. I never thought and I never bet that the Reds were going to, make the playoffs. I still don't think they will, but I never understood 78.5. All right, but I digress. All right, win totals for NFL teams. We're going to focus on AFC North. All right, for the Browns have the lowest in the NFL according to ESPN Bet Sportsbook and the ESPN Bet app. Cleveland Browns over/under for win totals 4.5. Next would be the Saints at 5.5, tied with the Giants and Jets and Titans. You have 4 teams tied at 5.5, but the Browns at 4.5. What do you think?
I'd run away from it. I don't know. Like I said, I think at the Browns' ceiling this year, they're probably a 6 or 7 win team. So I will say this. If they're at 4.5, like I said, if they're 4 or 5 win team this year, I have a feeling you've got a whole new front office and regime over there. I'll tell you what's interesting, though. The Saints, 5.5. I think that might be the worst team in football. What's their quarterback situation right now?
The kid from
is
Louisville,
like Tyler Shuck.
Yeah, the kid from Louisville.
Spencer
They got the
Rattler.
Yeah.
Jay Keener.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
Right, and it's not like they can rely on like a great defense like they've had.
I feel bad for Olave and Kamara this year.
Yeah, especially Olave, yes. And Browns fans, this is interesting for you. The Jacksonville Jaguars, you own their first-round pick, obviously. Their over-under is 7.5. So you're hoping they go under that. You don't want the Jags to even win 8 games. Definitely don't win 9 or 10.
And do you feel like that's – like, I feel like they're under. I don't think the Jags are.
I'll probably stay away from that one.
Here's another thing about the Jags. First-time head coach this year, but a first-time offensive coordinator and a first-time defensive coordinator, too.
Sunshine has been okay, but it's not like he's been.
No.
And his contract was the exact same contract Joe Burrow signed because he came after Burrow. So he didn't get more than he got the exact same money that Burrow did, which
doesn't make sense.
I like it. That almost makes up for the Bengals overpaying for T. Higgins. Not overpaying. I'm glad they got them and Jamar Chase. They just should have done it earlier is my point. All right. This is the one Ryan and I are in lockstep. Being Bengals and Browns fans like we are, we're big Steeler backers too. No, we're not Steeler backers, but we do think we try to think with our head, not our heart here. So the Pittsburgh Steelers over/under of wins, a team that has not had a losing season like since Mike Tomlin's been there, is 8.5. So to lose if you take the over to lose the bet, they would have to have their first losing season in forever. 8.5. And by the way, it's not one of these, if I take the over at 8.5, I'm getting like minus 150, right? No, even. even. I still can't believe this.
Do you remember last year at this time, most of the books had them at 7.5?
Yes, and we were all saying take the over. And you said, to your credit, like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, it was like, jump on that 8.5 with all the money you've ever had in the world. You bet all of Scotty's money on that.
They were 10-7 last year with Russ and Fields at quarterback. I don't think. And listen, the circus of Aaron Rodgers is what it is, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to give you worse production than those two. It might be better. I think DK Metcalf is a better receiver than George Pickens.
For sure.
I love Caleb Johnson in that running back room with Jalen Warren. That was a guy that I would have loved if the Browns had gotten, the running back out of Iowa.
Yeah.
Derek Harmon was one of the 3 guys in the draft bids that I said was bust-proof. I think he's a stud in the middle of that defensive line. Jack Sawyer is a guy that's going to fit in there seamlessly. I don't get it. Like, how? I know the division is tough with Baltimore and Cincinnati, but come on.
Yeah, and we're not. It's not like we're saying they're going to have a great year. They go 9-8. You win the bet if you take the over. 8.5 for the Steelers. And you're saying, what about the Bengals? Well, the Bengals had been 10.5 for a while. It's dropped to 9.5. But you're getting minus money on that. Minus 125. You want to take the over. 9.5 for the Bengals. And then you look at the Ravens, 11.5, tied for the highest in the NFL. All right, first hour of the show is in the books, but stick around for the second hour. We got a lot coming your way. This is On the Money.
CME wants to beat your bike or boat loan rate by 1.5% APR. Enjoy no payments for 90 days, low rates, and terms up to 84 months. Take the summer off and ride easy with CME. Terms and conditions apply. Minimum floor rate of 6.25% APR. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit CMEFCU.org for additional details.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Jermaine are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
It's really been amazing, the amount of people that I've had contact me, and the talk is generally centered around QC Kinetics, and whether it's a knee, whether it's a back, a hip, shoulder.
He's always happy to talk about how QC Kinetics all-natural regenerative treatments finally gave him relief without surgery. That's former pro football player Bobby Carpenter.
My message to them is do not wait and push off a week, a month, whatever it is. So if you want to feel better this summer, now would be the time to get in. If you want to feel better in the fall, make sure that you're getting in here so you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Spoken by a man who experienced relief firsthand. QC Kinetics gave this former pro athlete back his mobility, his activity, and they'll do the same for you.
Has really helped me in just my general quality of life.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. Did you know their co-founders are Ohio natives? Yep, with over 15 years replacing windows in the Columbus region, Window Nation knows what windows work best for Ohio homeowners like you. And right now, you can get 50% off all window styles plus no interest until 2030. That's right, 0 interest for 5 whole years. Even better, you can take advantage of the best deal of the year while getting 1-day installation with Window Nation. Call 866-90-NATION today or visit windownation.com for your free quote.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway and refresh the vibe with 69-cent large big gulp drinks. Get 69-cent large big gulp drinks at Speedway with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
And I'm Nate Puterbaugh. In baseball last night, the Reds won Game 2 of their series with the Rays 6-2. Ellie De La Cruz broke home in a tied game with a 2-run single in the 7th inning. They'll round up their series at 1:40 today. Shane Bass squaring off against Brady Singer of the Reds. Catch the action immediately following Fan Sports Sunday. The Cleveland Guardians split their doubleheader with Kansas City, losing Game 1 in extra innings 5-3, but winning the nightcap 6-4. They'll play the rubber match today at 2:10. Noah Cameron takes them out for the Royals against Joey Cantillo. In the NFL, former Buckeye Terry McLaurin reported to camp with the Commanders with an injured ankle. He is expected to be placed on the physically unable to perform list. And Texans running back Joe Mixon is expected to miss most of training camp with an injured ankle. And Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford is expected to miss training camp this week with an injured back. Breaking sports news, what happens on the Fan, Ohio Sports Destination.
Scotty's kids don't ask how his day was. They ask if all his bets won. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
Welcome back to On the Money, 97.1 The Fan. I am Dave Biddle. I am joined by Ryan Baker. Scotty Vegas has the day off. We have producer Nate Puterbaugh at the controls. This is a show about sports gambling, and we also talk just a ton of sports in general. Talk a lot of football on the show, don't we, Ryan? A lot of football. Imagine doing that in Columbus, Ohio.
That's what the people want, right?
We love our football here in Columbus, Ohio, and around the state of Ohio. And we also love the parlay party. Hit it, Nate. The parlay party is where we celebrate anything we want to celebrate. Could be a nice parlay that we hit. Could be anything at all. Ryan Baker, what are you celebrating today?
Hey, speaking of football, Ohio State training camp later this week. How about that? You talk about football season, it's here, Bids. And, you know, since I got back from vacation this past week, I've been going through high school football schedules, trying to get our schedule here on the Fan for high school football this year, ready for the season. We've got game 1 locked in already. I can confirm that, so that's nice. But, yeah, I mean, football season, whether we like it or not, and we love it here, it is here, whether we're ready for it or not, I guess. It was nice to get back into the swing of things after a week of vacation, get out of here, get recharged and refreshed, and get ready for the football season. The other thing I'm celebrating, Dave, is it's alumni weekend for my hometown down in Grove City. The world's largest alumni softball tournament happens in my hometown every summer. It all got underway Thursday night with the draw, so everybody could get ready, know when they're playing, who they're playing, and all of that. The bragging and the talking of trash could get started on Thursday night. And for the first time ever, games got underway on Friday because we lost one of the places that we always used to play at down in Grove City this year. So the whole tournament's at one site this year. So they started playing on Friday night. I was down there yesterday watching some of the games. This is the first year I'm not playing, so it's a little weird, but it's still cool to go down there and see some old friends, some that you see more than others, some that you may only see once a year or every other couple years. But when we get out of here today at 1:15-ish or so, I'm going to head back down and watch some of the games today. Hopefully the weather holds off, but it's always fun to see old friends that you haven't seen in a while, Dave.
I'll be giving you Reds updates, don't you worry. Because you couldn't get on your phone and just look for yourself. Click an app. Okay, this is the Red score. So I'll make sure I text you.
Get that sweep today.
Only if things are going well. Like if Matty Mack hits a home run, you're going to get an all caps Matty Mack, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. You will be receiving that. If they're getting shelled, if Brady Singer's throwing slow pitch softball, as he is wont to do sometimes, speaking of softball tournaments, you might not get any text from me. But yeah, speaking of our Red Legs, definitely celebrating their record right now. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They're 55-50. Again, they're projected to be 4 games under 500 this year, and they are 5 games over 500. They do have a tough schedule, but we're into the sprint part of the Major League Baseball. It's such a marathon when you have 162 games. When you get down to 59 games, relatively speaking, I mean, you're talking about that's kind of like for baseball, almost like a sprint, 59 games. So we'll see if the Reds can stay in it. I just wanted them to have a winning record this year in year 1 of Tito. I really like this young core, so celebrating that. And speaking of that young core, man, I was wondering, are we really going to get Hunter Green back for the Reds? You know, is this going to be one of those things where he'll be back in 2 weeks? I mean, he'll be back in a month. I mean, he'll be back in 2 months. but he went on a rehab assignment, and it's not over yet. He's still on the rehab assignment, but the first rehab assignment went very well a few days ago. So it looks like they're going to get Hunter Green back soon, and they've now kept Austin Hayes healthy for a while. It seems like the Reds not only are winning some games, but they're finally getting fully healthy for the first time. Now, that can change like that, as we know, but those are some of the things I'm celebrating. Nate, what are you celebrating?
Well, as we talk about getting ready to get the football season ready, the important thing to do is get the man cave ready. And yesterday, I got myself a brand new couch. And it's got,
there we go.
The seats recline. I got plenty of space for beers. There are plugs for my phone to charge. And I know it is comfortable because I was asleep within 20 minutes yesterday.
That's awesome. And is it one of those? It's one of those that has like the built-in fridge?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
So that is what I am currently celebrating.
I'm celebrating that for you. That's awesome. By the way, what a good invention, right? Like we're not lazy enough. We literally put a fridge in the Lazy Boy. I know it might not be a Lazy Boy, but like in the reclining sofa, you also have a beverage fridge. I absolutely love it. All right, let's move on. Let's get back to the Mount Rushmore of Ohio State wide receivers, which we're going to take your calls. Not right now, but the fan call-in show, 11 to noon. I'm going to be filling in for Scotty on that. So Ryan and I are going to take your calls, and we love the topic. Thanks to the reporter that asked Jeremiah Smith about this at Big Ten Media Days. Jeremiah, who is your Mount Rushmore of Ohio State? And he was like, okay, well, Chris Carter, Marvin Harrison Jr., Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Ted Ginn Jr. And in my opinion, he knows he's on that mountain right now, Jeremiah, but he's too humble to say it himself. This kid's like too good to be true in all respects, Ryan, the way he works, his physical traits. He's up to 225 pounds now, which is insane. He benches a bunch. He's fast as the wind, and he's like almost 6'4". So he's perfect, but he's also very humble, extremely humble, just a good young man. I like that he didn't put himself on there. I'm putting him on there, and I really struggled with this because, as we like to say, like you could, the old Jaws line, we need a bigger boat. We're going to need a bigger mountain because you can make an argument for a lot of different Ohio State receivers. I went with Chris Carter, Marvin Harrison Jr. I feel like, as you said earlier, I think those are two that'd be hard to make an argument against, Chris Carter and Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm going to put Jeremiah Smith on that mountain. And then he came down to Joey Galloway or Terry Glenn. Really tough. Terry Glenn, really, you can say the trump card is he won the Biletnikoff. I get that. But that was the first year Walt Harris was brought in as offensive coordinator. That was fifth-year senior Bobby Hoying. 2 years before that was Joey Galloway's breakout year. He had first-year starter Bobby Hoying, and Bobby ended up being a great quarterback, as we know. But that was sophomore Bobby Hoying. They had to bring in Brett Powers off the bench sometimes to help with the situation, and Joey still had a really good year. And that was before they brought in a good offensive coordinator. And Joey was the number 7 overall pick of the draft and was an absolute freak. So, again, we need a bigger mountain, but I'm going to give Joey Galloway the fourth and final spot on mine. And what is yours again, Ryan?
So I went Carter and Marv, just like you. I also went Joey Galloway, and then I went Chris Olave. And it's interesting, you have a good topic when your YouTube chat goes a little crazy about it, and we've had a lot of people.
I'm also disappointed in both of you on it.
You're a David Boston guy.
I don't know how you don't have David Boston on the list. He set every record known to man.
He did not set every record known to man.
Like 12 different records at Ohio State?
At the time. They've been since passed.
I mean, Jeremiah Smith, what he did.
They have since been passed,
certainly
but
more
at the
impressive.
time, no one had done what David Boston had done at Ohio State.
Okay, well, now that they have, though. You're taking JJ off that mountain?
I am, just because he's only played one season.
And I did that too.
That's why I don't have That's why I don't have Terry Glenn, that's why I don't have Terry Glenn. That's why I don't have Jackson Smith-Njigba, because for the majority of the thing, they only really played one season.
But no one was saying stuff like, "Oh man, I think right now he's better than Chris Carter was when he was here." And maybe I'm wrong.
And listen,
no one was saying like as good as those guys, but Jackson Smith-Njigba, like, oh yeah, he's better than Chris Carter.
That's the beautiful thing about this, though. I don't know if there is a right or wrong answer, and the even more beautiful thing is that Ohio State has had so many.
You can have these arguments
here. Absolutely.
That's a great topic by Ryan Baker. Ryan is the brainchild of this.
Well, I mean, I just heard somebody asked Jeremiah Smith this. They're the brainchild.
That's
Whoever
true.
at CBS Sports that asked Jeremiah Smith this, they're the genius.
But we make this like the main topic on the Collins show next hour, and also we're going to give our thoughts a lot. Now, I want to get into the YouTube chat. So are people yelling at us? What's the prevailing?
Nobody's yelling. Sage says we need a mountain range, not just a mountain. But then And Sage also says Paul Warfield, Chris Carter, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Jeremiah Smith. Then we've got Ed. He's got a different take. He's got Joey Galloway and Terry Glenn. Then he adds Garrett Wilson and Jeremiah Smith. So, and then you've got guys talking about all these receivers. Ted Ginn, a 9th pick in the draft. Joey Galloway, an 8th pick. Terry Glenn, a 7th. David Boston, an 8th pick in the draft.
And
Marvin
was very
Harrison
good his
Jr.
first few years with the Cardinals. David Boston was really put up huge numbers in the NFL, too. To your point, Nate.
Then he decided to, get huge and monstrous and became a whole different person, but...
He did like working out. He maybe even liked some things that assisted him working out.
Possibly. You never know. But yeah, it's very
is this
interesting.
Thing on? Did I just say that? I know I'm not really breaking news there, am I? Am I really breaking news? Oh, by the way, Barry Bonds, no. But seriously, David Boston wasn't just like a physical specimen and had a good 3 years at Ohio State. He, as you mentioned, 8th pick of the draft and was really, really good for the Cardinals for, I believe, at least 3 years. I have to go back and look. We haven't mentioned Michael Thomas.
Jeez.
We have not mentioned Michael Thomas, who had the best start to an NFL career of any wide receiver. It was like his first 3 years you combined. You did that. Nobody else had done that through 3 years.
Him and Jarvis Landry. That's it. That's the list.
We haven't even mentioned Michael Thomas. We had talked about Devin Smith earlier, right? Devin Smith was mentioned. Who
hardly mentioned.
You mentioned Devin Smith.
I love Devin Smith.
You mentioned Devin Smith earlier.
Probably the greatest deep ball threat in Ohio State
he
history.
might be. I mean, we're going to need huge. Yeah, we're going to need a mountain range.
Listen, Michael Jenkins was the career receiving yards leader at Ohio State until last year when Emeka Egbuka passed him, and we've hardly mentioned either of those two.
He was so clutch.
I think Emeka is going to be a star in the NFL. I think he's going to thrive in this Tampa Bay offense where he's not the main focus. But how could you put Emeka Egbuka when he was never the best receiver on his team? As good as he was, think of that. Never once was he the best receiver on his Ohio State team. He had Marvin Harrison, and then he had Jeremiah Smith.
Well, how do you... It's like we say, no one mentioned Michael Thomas. No one has mentioned Terry McLaurin because at Ohio State, they were like the third guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's KJ Hill, very underrated Ohio State receiver.
He was the all-time leading receptions leader till Emeka broke it. And Michael Jenkins is interesting because we know him for Holy Buckeye, but I feel like we don't talk about 4th and 14 nearly enough.
Santonio Holmes.
I mean, Santonio, a Super Bowl MVP, and was great when he was here. There's just so many. Ted Ginn, I'll say this about Ted Ginn. If we're just going by wide receiver, now he was a great wide receiver here. I probably wouldn't have him on the mount. We're talking about 4. If you give me Ted Ginn,
overall player, he's maybe
overall because he's the best kick returner and punt returner that we've seen, and he was a really good wide receiver. Now, if you just go wide receiver, I probably wouldn't put him on there. But you give me Ted Ginn, wide receiver, punt returner, kick returner. Oh, he's on that mount.
Ted Ginn responsible for the greatest Paul Keels call of all time when he returned that punt against Michigan State and ran through the Michigan State defense like Mexican water through a tourist.
Oh my God, and then that's a high bar because Paul Keels has had a lot of great calls in his career.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson was fantastic. We could go on and on. I mean, how do we not mention Mike Lanise? Now, we have mentioned Paul Warfield a little bit. Probably should mention him more. He's a guy before my time, but still a guy, I believe, Pro Football Hall of Famer, right? Certainly an Ohio State Hall of Famer. So Paul Warfield. And that was during the 3 yards in a cloud of dust era. So imagine him playing in a Ryan Day offense. Imagine doing this or that. Oh, you don't have to imagine. We're going to do it next on The Money.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Common Man and Timmy here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Timmy?
Yeah, we got a lot of fun things going on this month, like karaoke.
And crab legs.
No, not yet. Live bands. We've got food trucks in the outdoor valet area.
Crab legs.
Oh, not yet. On select weekend days throughout the summer. Okay, now crab legs.
And all you can eat crab legs at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Join Penn Play Rewards and play up to $500 on us. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, crab legs.
Oh, yeah, we love crab legs.
Time for crab legs?
Okay, crab legs.
Got one of those days that never stops? Try a stop at Speedway and refresh the vibe with 69-cent large big gulp drinks. Get 69-cent large big gulp drinks at Speedway with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 8/26/25. See app for full terms.
1-800-GOT-JUNK does two things differently.
We repurpose a lot of the junk we haul away.
So the donatables get donated to a family that needs them, and the recyclables get recycled.
Your neighbors are happy, and the planet is healthy.
What's number two?
We have enough trucks that we can come the day you call us.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is the world's largest junk removal service.
And that's good for your neighbors, and for the planet.
And for you, because we can come the day you call us.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? It's all here, only with Spectrum TV Select. Popular apps are included: Disney Plus, Max, Peacock Premium, Paramount Plus, AMC Plus, and more. And live TV for sports, entertainment, and news. Enjoy across your devices no matter when or where you are. Get Spectrum TV Select and start streaming your favorites today. It's all here. Visit spectrum.com/entertainment. Restrictions apply.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, newmanroofing.com.
We're rebranding our AM station, and the first order of business is bringing back the and Show. It's been gone for 15 years. All the fun starts Tuesday, September 2nd on the yet-to-be-named 1460 The Fans HD2.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Earn 2% cash back on purchases and pay 0% APR on balance transfers for 15 months with a new Kemba Financial Credit Union Visa. That's more rewards and less interest. Apply at Kemba.org. For purchases and balance transfers made in the first 90 days, restrictions apply. APR equals annual percentage rate. Variable and subject to change. Equal opportunity lender. Expires 10/31/25.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Aaron White here with your 10 weather impact forecast. We're tracking more showers and storms later on today with highs in the upper 80s this afternoon. And then as we head into tomorrow here on your Monday, another chance for a few showers and storms. Otherwise hot and humid with highs in the 90s. And the 90s will continue here for Tuesday and Wednesday, but it will feel like it's closer to 100 here during the afternoon on Tuesday and Wednesday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Dave Biddle was caught trying to bet on office ping pong matchups. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
It's On the Money. Dave Biddle. I almost said Scotty Vegas. You're not Scotty Vegas. You look more like Ryan Baker.
I'd take it, though. Take Scotty's DraftKings account or ESPN Bet account.
Yeah, give me any of his accounts for sure. No doubt about it. And we got Nate Poodleball at the controls. And right about now, Nate, it is time for This or That. Hit it.
Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come.
All right, when you guys set your alarm to get up in the morning, no, I'm not going to ask you, do you throw your phone? Just don't do it. Do you prefer having like a tone or do you prefer having like a song?
So I have the most annoying ringtone that comes on my phone. Whenever I get a new phone, I try to find the one that annoys me the most, and I make that as my alarm tone because it will make me want to get up faster, I feel, to shut it off. And I'll hit snooze. I set 4 alarms. I got into that habit back when I was in broadcasting school and doing a bunch of internships and running around, and I've just kept that habit. When I used to right out of high school, I worked with my dad, and we would travel a lot. He has this alarm clock that is like the loudest, most annoying rooster you have ever heard in your life. And all I wanted to do was get up every morning and throw that thing as hard as I could at the wall. But guess what? It made me want to get out of bed. So I go with the most annoying thing I can find.
I remember back in the day before, iPhones and stuff like that, just smartphones, is like if I had trouble getting up in the morning, I would make sure I put my alarm clock on the other side of the room. So I would have to get my butt out of bed to go turn it off, or I could just lay there and deal with it. It just boop, 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 boop. But I like now, we used to not have that option. It was just you either had the most annoying sound in the world. I don't like necessarily getting up annoyed, though. I'd like to have a nice song when I get up. So I have done away with the tones. I know you can have some nice tones. Don't have to be an annoying tone. I like getting up to a song. I like my alarm to be a song. So I'm getting with song.
So I'm the type of person that I can just fall asleep to like TV or music at the same time. So having music go on, it just makes me want to sleep more. So I have to have the annoying alarm.
Oh, you can get with this, or you can get with this. You just wanted me to rap.
I did.
Drink.
Have you seen those alarm clocks, by the way, that's like a mat that you have to get out and step on? Like you have to literally sit up and like put your feet on it to get it to shut off? I think that's a brilliant idea.
Was that on Shark Tank? That's a good idea.
Yes, I think that is a brilliant idea. So I love This or That's, Dave, that we always used to do that had food. So I'm starting this one with food, and it's kind of like a this or that or the other.
Okay.
Are you getting with shoestring, steak, or waffle fries?
Okay, we're going to eliminate. Now, there are some steak fries that I like, but overall those seem to be, because those fries, they have to be piping hot all across the board. But it feels like steak fries get cold fast. But then again, having steak fries dipped in like the steak juice. I'm not even talking about like A1. The actual steak juice is just good. I'm going to eliminate steak fries. I'm going to eliminate waffle fries. Although, again, you can have some really good waffle fries. I'll go with shoestring.
I like a really good waffle fry. It's big, so it feels like you're getting more. And if you can dip it well, the sauce stays on it for a while. So it's just even more like great when it gets into your mouth. So give me the waffle fry.
So I will say, it is tough to beat a good waffle fry, but I think it's tough to find a really good waffle fry. I think in general, give me the shoestring fry. Like you give me that super thin, crispy fry. Like I am all in on that. So give me the shoestring.
And about how many you grabbing at a time, roughly?
I mean,
4 or
whatever.
5.
Yes.
Whatever I can fit in these paws.
That's oh well. Ryan's grabbing a lot of fries. Give me that entire.
Gosh, a good, fresh, hot, salty shoe. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to go get some fries after
Entire
this.
large thing of fries where I just boom. Brr. All right, Nate, you're up, my friend.
All right. So we were talking earlier about, the Steelers, are they going to go 9-8? Are they going to go 8-7? Are you the type of fan that you would rather your team go 9-8 and maybe be in the wild card hunt? Or are you the kind of fan that just be bad and give me a good draft pick?
Yeah, like I have a lot of experience with this being a Bengals fan.
So do I.
Last year was a great example. So they're in bad year. Let's just keep it, let's get as good of a draft pick as possible. Look like they were going to get a good draft pick, right? And then what do these clowns do? They win their last 5 games, Nate, and for no reason, they didn't get in the playoffs. They finished with a winning record. Congratulations on that. They finished 9-8, and the reward is getting a worse draft pick and getting Shamar Stewart. And as we know in the NFL, it's not just you don't get a worse first-round pick, it's every round. So, yeah. Now, I would rather barely get in the playoffs. But if you're going to tell me I'm going to be 9-8 and miss the playoff, man, I would much rather just, win like 4 or 5 games and get a much better draft pick.
This is such a tough question, especially for the NFL, because the NFL is a league that is built on parity. And we've seen the last couple of years a team with the number 2 draft pick in the case of the Houston Texans and the Washington Commanders be able to flip that into playoff seasons and a nice run. It'll be interesting to see if Washington can avoid taking a step back like Houston did the year before. I think you would so much rather be fighting for that playoff spot unless you need a quarterback and there is a surefire, we think, stud quarterback at the top of the draft. If that's the case, maybe you would rather be in that running for the first overall pick and you get your franchise quarterback, because we know how important that position is in football right now. But unless that's the case, I would rather be that 9-8, 10-7 team fighting for that last wild card like the Steelers have been for so long, because I feel like it's a hell of a lot better to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan than it has been a Cleveland Browns fan for the past 2 decades.
I think the caveat for me is if you're going to be bad. Don't be 4-10 and then win 4 games at the end of the season. That is kind of my take. So be bad and be bad.
Don't be the Blue Jackets.
Don't be the Bengals.
Oh, yeah. I was going to bring up the Blue Jackets.
All right. Here's one for you. So this is not a big deal. It just has always been weird to me. All right. So what do they call, like, basically the second round of the playoffs in the NFL? They call them the divisional round, right? Now, you guys getting what they should still call it, the divisional round, or should they call it the AFC semifinals and the NFC semifinals?
It's a great question. And I don't know. I guess I would say divisional because that's what it has always been. But the semifinals aren't terrible, right?
And we don't
Although
have that.
technically, aren't the semifinals the AFC and NFC championship weekend? So maybe that's why
Those are
they
the
don't
NFL
do it.
semifinals, though, like the Super Bowl semifinals. That's what I mean, like the conference semifinals, just like they do in the NBA. You have the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Western Conference semifinals. And it's not the divisional round. You're not playing somebody from your division. I mean, you might be. You probably aren't. You're probably playing somebody from one of the other divisions. I just think semifinals just sounds better.
We always talk about football losing all of its traditions in the last, 20, 30 years. If there's not a good reason to change it, don't change it. Keep it the divisional round.
I like that.
Up next, more this or that. This is On the Money.
The sun is out and the savings are on. Now at Coghlan Chevrolet. Lease a new 2025 Chevy Trax for $159 a month. A new 2026 Chevy Equinox, only $259 a month. Or a new 2025 Silverado, lease for $359 a month. See our full inventory at CoghlanChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 8/4/25.
Delaware County Veterans Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of veteran county veteran service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment, facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veterans Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veterans Services.
At Dick's Sporting Goods, we have always believed sport has the power to change lives. Community happens here. Change happens here. Sport happens here. Introducing the all-new Dick's House of Sport, bringing new experiences, new services, and unrivaled selection from the top brands to a new place Polaris can call home. Featuring a rock wall, a HitTrax multi-sport cage, and 3 golf hitting bays. Dick's House of Sport at Polaris Fashion Place. Grand opening celebration August 15th through August 17th.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The 2 most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants. The pervert and the skivvies. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan. Scotty Vegas has his own cot in the casino. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
Welcome back to On the Money, our second this or that segment. All right, my next one is, you guys getting with, generally speaking, I mean, I like both, but generally speaking, you getting with crushed ice or cubed ice?
There are some things, certain drinks that I think you need, like that crushed ice or that Sonic ice, I'll call it sometimes, the real small. But in general, I'm going cubes. I think for certain things, yes, on the crushed, but generally speaking, cubes.
That's exactly where I'm at. I like both, and you're right. It depends, but generally speaking, I want the cubes.
I'm a whiskey type of guy, so I need to have cubes.
It's funny you mentioned that. All right. If you guys are drinking whiskey or another type of liquor, do you like it neat or do you like it on the rocks? Again, generally speaking.
I am an on the rocks guy. You get that kick regardless, so I'm going to have it chilled. If I pour a nice glass at home, I've got my big spheres that I have in the freezer ready to go. So I am an on the rocks person.
I've done both, but I generally, especially as I get older, I prefer it neat more often than not.
I'm an on the rocks guy.
But not shaved ice, though, of course.
So I think we can all agree there are 2 quarterbacks in the AFC this year that probably have a lot of pressure on them to win a Super Bowl. And I think that's Lamar Jackson, and I think that's Josh Allen. Both of those guys need to get over the hump. I mean, you could maybe put Joe Burrow on there, but he's at least gotten to a Super Bowl before. He's gotten over that Patrick Mahomes hump. But Lamar or Josh, neither of them have. So who is more likely to win the AFC this year and get over that Patrick Mahomes hump? Do you think it's Josh Allen or do you think it's Lamar?
I think it's Lamar. I do. And I think we have to point out, if not for Mark Andrews dropping that ball, that wasn't on Lamar last year. I think that might help him. He's pretty mentally strong anyway. I think that might help him realize, okay, that wasn't on me. That wasn't on me. Like, I can't catch the ball too, to quote Giselle, right? My husband can't throw it and catch it himself. Well, he's not your husband anymore. But anyway, yeah, I'll go with that.
I'm going to agree with you as well. I think Baltimore is probably the better team. I also feel like Baltimore is the better coached team as well. They seem to just crush the draft. Like the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers every year, I feel like, gosh, they just have great drafts and they keep adding to their team. So I think it's Lamar over Josh too.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Every year, Josh Allen puts up great stats in the regular season and then loses a home game in the divisional round to the Chiefs or the Bengals. Give me the Ravens.
And I could be totally wrong, but like as a Bengal fan, if I had to face somebody in, let's say for the AFC Championship game or even the divisional round, which should be the AFC semifinals, but I digress, I would prefer to play the Bills over the Ravens if I'm the Bengals.
Absolutely.
You know,
I would agree.
I just, so that's where it comes down for me. It's like, I just think the Ravens are, and I think the Bills are well coached, but I hate to say it. I'm not a big John Harbaugh fan, but yeah, he's a hell of a good coach.
So last year, Indiana had a great run in the Big Ten. They make the college football playoff. This year, a lot of people are saying Illinois is set up to be this year's Indiana, which I think is a little unfair because Illinois was a pretty darn good team last year, too.
Right.
And most people don't remember that or realize that. Who do you think, though, is more set up for long-term success on the football field? Is it Indiana or is it Illinois?
It's tough because Cignetti is saying all the right things. And even though we've all, probably most of us, unless you follow like smaller school football, because he was very successful at James Madison in his previous 2 stops. A lot of us probably never heard of Curt Cignetti until we Googled him.
Let's see what you did there.
We've heard of him for all of 2 years, but he's not a young guy. And he seems very happy at Indiana, and we know with the money that maybe he'll stay there. If you tell me Curt Cignetti, and I think Bert's doing a great job at Illinois, but if you tell me Cignetti's going to stay at Indiana, I'll say Indiana. But without knowing that, I just think Illinois is a basketball school, but like Indiana is just dripping in basketball. That is what that they care about the most, and it was great that they did what they did last year, but not knowing what Cignetti would do, I'm getting with Illinois. If you told me Cignetti would be there for the next 15 years or even 10 years, I would get with Indiana.
So first of all, I love that the Big Ten has both of these coaches in it. Yes. I love the sound bites you get from Cignetti and Bielema, and I love the way both of those guys rile up everyone else. Like, people are talking about Curt Cignetti and what he says, and you heard on Bishop and Friends a couple weeks ago when we asked Paul Feinbaum about Bielema's comments, and he went after Bielema saying he's surprised with his ferocious appetite. He didn't eat the microphone. I love having these guys in this conference because the Big Ten Conference hasn't had coaches like this since maybe a Bobby Knight in basketball or a Gene Cady in basketball, a John L. Smith at Michigan State. So I love that we have these coaches that are riling people up. Now you've got to back that up, right? Or it becomes just an annoyance and this guy's an idiot, whatever. I think it's Illinois because I think the whole proximity to talent is better for Illinois in the Chicago area.
And the history.
Indiana and Bloomington. And yes, Illinois has had historically a better football program than Indiana. So I think with Bielema at Illinois, I think Bielema's a guy that knows how to coach in the Big Ten. I think it's Illinois, but I think as long as both of these coaches stay, I think they're going to be relevant enough that it's going to be awesome to have them in the Big Ten.
So this is a really hard one because there's such a small sample size with Curt Cignetti, so I don't know what his long-term prospects are. But there is a large one with Bert. And at Wisconsin, he was James Franklin before there was a James Franklin. And he was awful at Arkansas. The odds are Bert is eventually going to peter out.
That's a great point. He was not good at Arkansas. And I know that's a tough place to win, but like he did like even worse than I would expect there. And I will say this about Cignetti. Yeah, it was at lower levels, but I mean, it's like, it reminds me a little. Now, he didn't win 4 national championships at these lower levels, but it reminds me of like Jim Tressel. It's like when people were downplaying Jim Tressel when he was hired. It's like, oh, Youngstown State's like, yeah, he won 4 national championships and finishes runner-up 2 other times at Youngstown State. So Cignetti, all he's done is win. Google him. Where Bielema, yeah, I mean, he was pretty good at Wisconsin, but was definitely a step down from Barry Alvarez, inherited a great situation from Barry, and then was a disaster at Arkansas, is doing a very good job at Illinois. And I do, to Bake's point, I love how him and Cignetti are getting the South riled up. I mean, you had Shane Beamer from South Carolina over there crying about Bielema in their bowl game last year when Illinois beat them. It was great. All right, my next one. All right. Yeah, let's just go back to this because I was struggling with this one. I want to go back to this. You guys getting with Joey Galloway or Terry Glenn if you had to pick one or the other?
I mean, this isn't, and I do not have children, but this is like picking your favorite child, right? Or,
everybody with children has a favorite child. Don't let them tell you otherwise.
You have two favorite pairs of shoes. You're going to pick the gray one or the white one, This is so hard, but for me, it's Joey Galloway. Joey Galloway was probably my first true, that I knew favorite Buckeye. I remember Carlos Snow, and I remember Carlos Snow's cool haircut, and I was like, Carlos Snow's a guy. But Joey Galloway was the first guy, I started to understand football, and that was my first favorite Buckeye. I remember the iconic shot of Joey Galloway running into the end zone, and you saw it on highlight packages forever where the camera guy is sitting at the end of the end zone, and Joey Galloway runs right up to him. He's got the number 7 and the ripped abs, bare midriff on there, and he was just so fast and so good. And like I said, I think Joey Galloway kind of started the run of great wide receiver play we have seen at Ohio State for the past 30 years now. So give me Joey Galloway.
Yeah, and Joey was the first Ohio State wide receiver in a long time to be a first-round pick. Because you remember Chris Carter, because he was rule ineligible, had to go to the supplemental draft. And so Joey was the first-round pick and was the number 7 overall pick. Here's why I give Galloway the edge over Terry Glenn. And you're right. You could make strong arguments either way. I mean, Terry Glenn won the Biletnikoff in 95. Joey they both played with Bobby Hoying. Joey Galloway played with very green Bobby Hoying his first year as a starter. Now, he also played in 94, but 93 was Galloway's best year. That's when he broke out, had that 3-touchdown game against Michigan State. And that was a run-oriented team, as we know, with Raymond Harris running the ball. They also had a guy named Eddie George as a sophomore on that team that didn't play all that much as a sophomore after having fumbleitis as a freshman. But I digress. And here's the thing. They also did not have a good offensive coordinator in 93 and 94. Jim Coletto ended up being the head coach at Purdue. What they do in 95, they bring in Walt Harris, who completely revamps the offense. Not only do you have the running back win the Heisman Trophy, you have a wide receiver win the Biletnikoff, and I believe Bobby Hoying was up for all the quarterback awards too. That's how balanced that team was. Walt Harris. So Terry Glenn had the benefit, it was beneficial for him to have a great offensive coordinator and a veteran quarterback. So for those reasons, I give Joey Galloway the edge.
Yeah, Joey had to play on worse teams. He had worse corners. And I always go to if I'm going to throw the ball to a guy and I have to pick up a 4th down, who am I throwing it to? I'm throwing it to Joseph Scott Galloway.
So speaking of high draft picks for the Buckeyes in the NFL draft, they probably have a few on this year's team. Safety is not usually a spot that gets drafted super high in the NFL draft. So are you getting with Caleb Downs, top 5 pick in next year's NFL draft, or are you not getting with that?
I'm getting with it. I think there's going to be a team that just realizes that he's not even your typical safety. He's not even that big of it. He obviously isn't Sean Taylor, but he plays big. You can move him around. He can be almost like a hybrid Mike. He can play deep. He can play in the box. He can do a little bit of everything. I would definitely bet the house top 10. Top 5 is a great question because I could see him being 6th or 7th, but nowhere, worse than that. I will say I'm getting with top 5, yes.
Yeah, he is without a doubt a top 5 or top 10 pick. And here is the difference that I think will make him a top 5 pick. And this is no knock on Jim Knowles, because Jim Knowles might be the best defensive coordinator in college football. But I think Matt Patricia coming in the multiple formations and defenses he is going to use, and the ability for him to move Caleb Downs around to different positions and show off Caleb's different skills. I have a feeling we'll see Caleb Downs at nickel corner a little bit this year. We might see him up in the box as kind of a hybrid linebacker type player. I think Matt Patricia is going to use Caleb Downs as a Swiss Army knife this year, and I think that's going to be the difference that gets Caleb Downs to a top 5 pick in the NFL draft.
Caleb Downs could very well be the absolute best overall draft eligible person this year. But I think because there was such a bad quarterback class last year, there's going to be such a run on quarterbacks, he's going to get knocked out of the top 5.
Good point.
drink.
That's a good point.
Very, very good logic. Real quick, because we got to take a break. Real quick, I want to get this one in there. So I got a candy bar. I like candy bars, but I just don't get them that often. And then my daughter really wanted one, so I went out and got us a couple candy bars last night. You guys getting with, if you get a candy bar, I'm talking about a full candy bar. You getting with, and you don't eat it right away. Or maybe you just eat part of it right away, either way. You get with, you leave that candy bar at room temperature, you put that candy bar in the fridge, or you put that candy bar in the freezer?
So I am almost always my favorite candy bar is a Snickers. And if there's not a little bit of melted chocolate on my fingers that I can lick off after, it's not the right way. So I like it room temperature. Maybe even a little warmer than that. I like a melty candy bar. The only candy I like frozen is a Rolo. I love a Rolo frozen, but other than that, give me the room temperature.
You got to try Kit Kat frozen too. Now, I used to put all my candy bars in the freezer. Now, I'm like halfway. Now I put them in the fridge. So I'm getting with the fridge.
I currently have 6 Kit Kats and 5 Crunch Bars in the freezer.
We did not rehearse that. We do a lot of show prep. We definitely didn't rehearse. That is hilarious that you have that as we speak. Hey, Ryan, you got to try it. The Kit Kat's in the freezer. It's good stuff.
You know what's interesting is I had a Kit Kat yesterday.
Try one that's leave in the freezer for about an hour. Kick that bad boy out there, and then you're going to be texting me and Nate, be like, yeah, you guys were right. All right, up next, well, we don't know if we're going to be right, but we hope we are. It's Best Bets on the Money.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
It's the summer event at Germain Honda of Dublin, and Rich has unbeatable offers. Lease a sleek 2025 Honda Accord LX for as low as $329 a month, or finance it with 3.99% APR. Or upgrade to Adventure with a 25 Honda Pilot Sport all-wheel drive. Leases starting at $429 per month, or 4.49% APR. Drive into summer with style, comfort, and confidence. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. See dealer for details.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way, give Bath R Us a ring. Call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Irish Adventure awaits at the Dublin Irish Festival August 1st through 3rd in Dublin, Ohio. Voted 2025 USA Today Best Cultural Festival in the nation. This year promises 3 incredible days of Irish music, dance, food, and fun. Enjoy unique Irish experiences as you explore one of the top festivals in the U.S., drawing over 90,000 guests to Dublin, Ohio each year. Get your tickets at dublinirishfestival.org.
Stepping into the Kia K4 or K5 isn't just getting behind the wheel of any average sedan. It's stepping into what's next. With a K4, it's a world that's exciting. With a K5, it's one that's bold. The Kia K4 and K5, the next movement for sedans. See your local Kia dealer or visit kia.com to learn more.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Lease a new 2025 K4 LXS for $219 a month for 24 months with $34.99 due at signing for well-qualified lessees.
Call 800-334-KIA for details. Always drive safely. New 2025 K4 LXS 2.0-liter FWD IDT 24,165 MSRP. MSRP includes destination handling and excludes taxes, title, registration, license fees, options, and retailer charges. No security deposit required. Actual prices set by dealer and may vary. Purchase option at lease end is $17,157.15. Subject to credit approval by Kia Finance. Lessee is responsible for insurance, maintenance, repairs 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles a year, excess wear, and a termination fee of up to $400. Subject to dealer participation. Offers may not be combined except where specified. Must take delivery by 8/4/25. Limited inventory available.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
It's hot out. Stay in the house and cool yourself with the sweet sounds of The Fan. You can watch on YouTube or tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 The Fan. It's the equivalent of putting ice cubes down your pants. All right! The Fan.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See, we didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
Jerry, I've made a decision.
Aaron, are you giving away free services again?
Well, yeah. How did you know?
I haven't been able to quit thinking about your AC piggy bank.
Get Eco.
ECO. We work to extend the life of their old air conditioner and then give back all the money we were paid to do it.
Up to $1,500.
When they need to buy a new system.
Jerry, I'm getting ready to do something like that again.
Get Eco.
ECO.
When we replace a water heater, I'm instructing all the Eco plumbers to give our customers up to $500 in free repairs before they leave the house.
$500 in free services that same day?
There's lots and lots and lots of things our plumbers can do for $500 or less.
And Eco is going to do these things for free when people buy a water heater?
Yeah, whatever they want for free.
That same day?
Same day.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Go to geteco.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, Private Selection 80% lean Angus ground beef chuck in 1-pound packages is $5.49 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. D. Biddle's favorite kind of psychology is reverse psychology. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
All right, time for some best bets. I'll start off on some college football. I mentioned this earlier. It's going to sound silly if you haven't really paid attention to their off-season additions, but Oklahoma, they look like a team that, Brent Venables is going to be entering his last year, right? I mean, they were bad, especially for Oklahoma standards last year. They did beat Alabama and, by proxy knocked Alabama out of the CFP. But still, Oklahoma not good last year. You're thinking, Brent Venables really hasn't been good since he's been there. But, man, they have really ramped things up. They brought in a really good offensive coordinator from Washington State who brought his really good quarterback with him in John Mateer. So you get one of the top quarterback transfers in the country. They did a really good job overall in the portal. I like what they've done with their coaching staff. Still not sold on Venables as a head coach, but here's what I like, Oklahoma. Plus 550 to make the CFP. Now, Ryan Baker, if this was even 2-1, I probably wouldn't do it. I just like the value here. Just to make the CFP, again, they're in the SEC. It's tough. I'm not saying they're even going to win a game, but I like the value there at plus 550 for Oklahoma. Just to make the CFP field. I'll go one more for those that haven't heard it. If you've listened to the show every week, you've heard me say it millions of times, but it's still there. I can't believe it's there. And that's Illinois over 7.5 wins. And I'll do one more if you missed it from earlier in the show. Ryan and I both love this one. From the NFL, Steelers over 8.5 wins. That is a low number. They could go 9-8, which they do at least that every year, and you win the bet. They'd have to have their first losing season in the Mike Tomlin era for you to lose that bet if you take the over. So give me Steelers over 8.5.
You and I both have purchased and love the Phil Steele magazine, and he is very high on Oklahoma as a bounce-back team. If you want to just take that a step further, maybe you don't want to go for them to make the playoffs. Their over-under on wins is 6.5.
Oh, I love that.
And if you look at Phil Steele, he'll think that's all. He think that's a guarantee. He think that's a lock. So, yeah, Oklahoma is a team that you could expect to maybe have a bounce back. I'm going to go to the world of baseball here for two bids. One of them is AL MVP, And it seems like that's a 2-horse race with Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh.
Ooh, and now Judge is hurt.
Cal Raleigh had his 40th home run of the year last year. Aaron Judge is minus 600 right now to win the AL MVP, but we're not sure what's going on with his arm right now. He might just be DH in the rest of the year. Who knows? Cal Raleigh is second at plus 325. He's not batting nearly as good as Judge. Judge is leading the AL in batting average, but Cal Raleigh's hitting 257, 40 home runs. He's tied with Judge with 85 RBIs. He's right behind Judge in WAR, and he's playing maybe the most valuable defensive position on the field at catcher. If the Seattle Mariners, who it looks like they're buyers right now, they just added Josh Naylor to this lineup, probably give Raleigh a little protection, and they make the playoffs, there's a good chance Cal Raleigh could be your AL MVP at plus 325. That's different. That's decent squeeze. And how about this one? The top 2 right now in the odds to be AL Rookie of the Year are 2, whatever city they play for, Athletics.
Yes.
They're just the Athletics. They're not Oakland. They're not Sacramento.
Nope.
They're not Vegas yet. They're a team without a home. They are the Athletics. The top 2 are Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson at plus 105 and plus 150. Nick Kurtz is batting 309. He has 23 home runs, 59 RBIs, over a 1.061 OPS. He had 4 home runs in a game this year. Jacob
Recently,
Wilson, or this week, excuse me. Jacob Wilson, who is his teammate, is plus 150 right behind him. He's batting 312, 10 home runs, 45 RBIs. So he's not even close to Nick Kurtz's stats. Now, Wilson is playing at shortstop, which is tougher than first base. But you're giving me plus money on Nick Kurtz right now to be the AL Rookie of the Year. I'm jumping all over that.
They've drafted really well. Both those guys were first-round picks. They took Kurtz last year in the first round.
Yeah, their first-round pick last year.
We're going to look, and 4th overall, we're going to look back on that 2024 Major League Baseball draft. Is really, I guarantee you the Cincinnati Reds are not sitting there like, well, maybe they are, because Kurtz would. I guarantee the Cincinnati Reds aren't sitting there like regretting taking Chase Burns. I know things have not gone great in. He's a 21-year-old in Major League Baseball, but my God, he was dominating every level of. Yeah. And I still think he's looked good.
He's been dominating at times for the Reds.
Even this past start, he was good till the wheels fell off in the 5th.
If the A's ever get to Vegas, watch out.
Let's go sometime. All right, see a Reds game there. 614-821-9710. We want to hear from you guys for the Collins Show next. 614-821-9710. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of Ohio State wide receivers? Give us a call. This has been On the Money.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Here's 3 reasons to buy your Blue Jackets ticket plans for the 25-26 season. 1, pick your seat and pick your games. 2, plans start at just 11 games. 3, flexible payment plans. Act now. Visit BlueJackets.com/tickets.
Common Man and Timmy here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Timmy?
Yeah, we got a lot of fun things going on this month, like karaoke.
And crab legs.
No, not yet. Live bands. We've got food trucks in the outdoor valet area.
Crab legs.
Oh, not yet. On select weekend days throughout the summer. Okay, now crab legs.
And all you can eat crab legs at the ESPN Bet Sportsbook on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Join Penn Play Rewards and play up to $500 on us. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, crab legs.
Oh, yeah, we love crab legs.
Time for crab legs?
Okay, crab legs.
Road trip! This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio!
Right now, save up to $434 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
The Columbus Zoo invites you to follow the footsteps and the tales of animals from around the world. Explore our newest region, North America Trek. So what are you waiting for? Get your tail to our trails only at your Columbus Zoo.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
When you walk up and down the stairs, do you feel a crunch in your knees? Or when you lift your arms above your head, you hear a click in your shoulders? Have you tried steroid shots and neither suggested surgery? Before you go under the knife, you should hear me out. Hey, it's Tyvis Powell, and I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without getting more meds and without having to have surgery. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using the treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Their cellular treatment contains growth factors and healing properties to maximize your own body's ability to heal itself. 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. Learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Find out if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.